Barrister, the case to remember. My first guest is an incredibly talented woman, I think, and a lovely actress, and she's starred in some of the most popular and financially successful movies ever made. It's nice when movies are both, although it isn't necessary. They include, as you must know, Mary Poppins and Hawaii, and the Americanization of Emily and The Sound of Music. And what have I left out? Star, Darling Lily. She's been in lots of films, and I'm delighted that she's here tonight. I met her once that she doesn't remember. Maybe it'll come to her during the evening. I'll tease her with it. Will you welcome, please, the beautiful and wonderful Miss Julie Andrews. What you said, that's a dirty trick.
Very dirty trick, yeah.
That I met you once and didn't tell you, because I saw you the other night here in town, but
I remember I was outside the Dixie Hotel and you came by in a cab and you whistled, right?
No, that was someone else. No, but you were outside the Dixie Hotel. Is this Dixie Hotel still there? I guess it must be. No, I don't want to keep you in suspense. At some point during the evening, I will reveal it. Let me know when the suspense gets so unbearable.
How about if I scream right now?
No, I want to wait a while.
Oh.
I'll wait a while. You're not going to snatch off your hair like Carol Burnett did.
Was that great?
That was a great shock
yeah.
to say to a woman, what do you do to let your hair down? And she said this and pulled it off. She's a good friend of yours, though.
Actually, talking about Dixie Hotel, we decided that if we ever did another special, we would do it in the lobby of the Dixie Hotel.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we thought it would be fun.
I know for people, when I was a kid, way back on the Jackie Gleason show, he used to do a joke about memoirs of an elevator operator in the Dixie Hotel.
Oh, yes.
It's been a joke for years, although the hotel is all fixed up now.
Well, we could try Filene's Basement or something like that.
What does that mean?
Filene's Basement? It's a bargain basement in a shop called Filene's in Boston.
Oh,
I just did a commercial, didn't I?
Oh, you may have,
yeah.
Yes. You may get a bargain in the mail. Do the kids recognize you on the street as Mary Poppins?
Yes, and they sometimes expect me to do something magical, and then it's very hard.
Do you carry any tricks about with you?
No.
So you can do that?
Just a sharp cuff across the ear usually does it.
Just touch W.C. Fields.
That's right, yeah.
I didn't know that. That was your first film, wasn't it?
Yes.
Poppins?
Yes.
Nothing else you'd never done any little films? Or?
No, I did a commercial in England once for something or other, but nothing, no.
Were you prepared for the great success of it? Were you floored by the tremendous
Something
success?
nice happened. I had made Poppins and Emily and The Sound of Music, and none of them had been released. So I had all the great fun of making films and none of the responsibility of having them released.
They were all in the can, so to speak. And then all came out at once.
Well, kind of just one after the other, yeah.
What, is there a kind of role that you'd really like to get into, to kind of get out of the pure image you have? Do you know what I mean by the pure image?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, no, but would you like to do a real low-down, wretched, Tobacco Road type part?
No, not really. I wouldn't mind doing a low-down kind of hokey thing, something really wacky and wild. That would be great. I'd love to do an out-and-out comedy and try that. And I'd like to do a modern film. I've never done anything that wasn't in a period costume. Wasn't a period film. I mean, even Emily, which sort of seems modern, was 1942 or something.
What about
like that.
The Hitchcock?
I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah, I'd forgotten.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
See, it must be nice to be able to forget an entire... I like that. Now, could you clear up one thing for me, and then we'll never have to discuss it again?
Only if you'll tell me where we met.
Okay, I will, right after this.
Okay.
Why did you not make the movie of My Fair Lady? It's never been completely explained to me.
It's very simple. I had never made a movie. I was not a star. I was not box office.
But you were the star of it on Broadway.
Yeah,
Everybody had bought the record.
People on Broadway or around Broadway might know, but certainly people out in the middle of America and out here and didn't know me from Adam,
Yeah.
And so I understand it. I'll never forget it, but I understand it.
You'll never forget it. You must have been really sore at the time, because it was certainly your part.
It's nice to have the kind of compensation that I had, which was Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
And so I felt, kind of...
Was that a decision made by one man or a group of people? Or?
I don't really know. I don't know why. Maybe I was silly, but I didn't really hold out much hope for it. I mean, I didn't think that I would get it, just because I knew I never made a film, and how could I, and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it wasn't that great a surprise.
No.
I'll tell you where we met.
Where?
Your dressing room.
Where? Which dressing room?
Are we on the air? I was still in college when My Fair Lady opened.
Yes.
And it opened in New Haven.
Yes.
And an opening night.
Which was a thunderstorm or a snowstorm or something.
Yeah, and something went badly wrong. I remember Moss Hart came out before the curtain and said, everyone went, oh, because they'd heard all about this show.
Yes.
And he said, no, nobody's sick. It's but one of the turntables.
Both turntables. We had two of them, and neither of them were going to work. And he just warned the audience. But you came back afterwards?
I was there, and there was a sense of just gigantic success about it that night. It went about an hour longer than normal because stagehands had to come on and turn the tables.
That's right. They had to crank them by hand, and the show ran about 4 hours. Yeah. And it was the first time we'd ever really done it, with an audience. And I remember I got my wig on backwards that night.
You did?
Yes. I had an incredibly fast change, and I just, I had different hairstyles for different parts of the play. Yeah. And I ran in and put on my wig and got in my costume, ran out and did my number and came off. And at the end of the show, Cecil Beaton came back furious, and he said, "Not that way, you silly girl, this way."
And turned your hair around?
Just, like
you should have done the same thing to him.
Yes.
Yes. I think he does, doesn't he? I'm not sure.
He forgave me later, but
yeah.
It was...
Well, it's funny. I'm surprised with all the excitement of that night that you don't remember my coming. I was just a student, and people were thronging backstage, and I thought, I'm going to see where they're going.
I don't remember any one particular student. There were many, of course.
Yeah. Well, it's probably because I didn't either say anything to you or make myself known in any way.
I probably was still in a stupor.
I stepped into the dressing room and stepped out. You were wearing some sort of plaid pants.
Was I?
Yeah.
How fascinating.
Yeah, no, you really were. They were, I'll never forget them. They were trousers, I mean.
I'll give them to you if you like.
Oh. Well, stand up, let's see. I don't think we That's all I've always wanted, those pants. No, I'm not even sure. Yeah, it was the first night, sure. Do you remember a pair of sort of red plaid
The pants I remember. Unfortunately, I wish I could say I remembered you, but isn't that awful?
Maybe if I were red and plaid, you could remember. Well, let's watch the great... What is this? Oh, now let's watch The Great Smell for Men, Brut by Fabergé.
How do you watch it?
I don't know. Let's take a look at it.